in person last week. Yes. Good.
13 week.
Yes. Better now?
Yeah.
You got to do the things that they told you that the new things. Yeah. That's a lot. Including a week of holidays in the middle. Nice. Shall we synchronize the playlist?
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, and play. Yeah. Good. All right. Beautiful. Welcome, welcome. Nice to see you. So to begin, you can choose if you want to lay on your back or if you want to sit. So really take a moment to see what your body is asking for. Yeah. Yeah. And really choose that which feels more comfortable, that which is the greatest, that will offer you the greatest ease. So beautiful, you all chose to lay on your back. So as that is your choice, then truly taking a moment to fully inhabit that space by first checking in through all the sensations that are already there. If your body needs to stretch a little bit, to move, to shake anything, to take a big exhale through your mouth. Just so that as you create that choice, then the breath can come to truly enliven and to reveal to you in exchange everything that is here in your inner universe. Your eyes settle. They drop towards the back of your head. And in that, they turn all that energy that goes constantly everywhere through your eyes to yourself, to start to see without seeing everything that is alive in yourself, and to land and to discover all those spaces. You start to gently invite your attention to find your breath, this precious life. And you get in contact with that breath as if you would be truly getting in contact with life, which is so. And you invite that life to travel through your whole body. And you notice that the breath is traveling because you start to feel. How is it to receive this life? When you notice the touch of the breath into every space of your body, or into the ones that you get to experience. Maybe it's just the nose, the back of the throat, the lungs, the belly. It may go farther to feeling how all the cells are actually breathing, receiving that life. And as you exhale and breath move through every cell, every part of your body, back and out into the space, a deep wave of relaxation. As in gratitude, once you receive, you can in a way give that breath back to the universe that is going to be inhaling as you exhale. And you empty. And you start to see the tensions of your body, of your mind, of your heart, that start to gently dissolve, disappear down to the earth, to the sides and above into the universe. Just so that as you're gifted with the next in-breath, you can receive it again, the sweetest gift, your entire body that in its softness allows life to move inwards. Little bubbles of light that they appear everywhere within your inner universe, showing you what is here with you. And in that moment, you start to embrace all the sensations that you discover, the flavor of your heart, or maybe the resistance to taste the flavor of your heart in this moment, or maybe in the previous hours or days. Maybe what is there is just resistance. Welcome. Welcome here. You taste with that breath how it is that you are closing your day. Suddenly at the end of the day, you get energized and vital, or if at the end of the day, you're ready to let your day complete. Welcoming. As when you welcome all that is, you are receiving to what your body is giving. That is just simply all that is here. And you exhale, and simultaneously the past, the future dissolve down to the earth, to the sides, to the universe, through your entire skin, exhaling all that excess of gripping into things, of trying too hard, of doing too much. And as the next breath finds you, that little gift comes all the way to the center within your heart, traveling through your nose, the place that touches almost the center of your brain, down your throat, and then coming to the center of your heart, in between your front body and your back body, your left side and your right side, just in the middle of your chest. And you settle there. And you start to notice your heart beating. You start to notice how below you, you are incredibly supported by earth. As you let that heart for a brief moment drop and root, as if your heart has roots that connect you through the space below you, floors, layers of earth to that heart of the earth, as a reminder that you are here. Your heart beats with the heart of the earth, and simultaneously, your heart has also that capacity to root upwards to the universe, to the incredible cosmic universal heart, that universal frequency of love, empty of any request on the other side, empty of any afterthought, and just the force that pours maybe life and glitters of loving frequency into each and every breath. That your heart is receiving in every pulsation. In that reminder of one of the many aspects of this sacred temple, that is how it is to love from that space. What is to love in a dance where the giving and the receiving, they are just having the same content and frequency, that every breath that you get to touch with your body and with your heart. There is nothing that you need to do, or that you need to change, or that you need to prove to receive this outpouring of loving breath at any time. And there is nothing that you are considering as you exhale and you give that back. It is just happening. It is the purest way of opening the space and giving and receiving from that complete space of pure presence. Now, when it comes to walking on the earth, that giving and receiving turns to shift by needs that are maybe unmet by yourself, by demands that are hidden behind everything that you give without expectations to maybe receive, by feelings of awkwardness when you get to receive, and that you're already thinking how I'm gonna do to give back. The breath is not asking you to give back. The breath is giving and giving and pouring. And it is just a happening that you exhale and it goes back to where it came from. Now on this earth, start to practice that. It goes back to you and how much you offer to yourself. Love. And how much do you nourish the capacity to love yourself so much that then the heart, when it goes into the world, can do exactly the same as what the breath is doing with you and you with the breath. It is this double folded way of maybe attuning into that. So you can take a moment, bring your hands to your heart, and really to ask yourself, it's a way to be loving to the world, where maybe you're being called to be more loving to yourself. Where can you give yourself that love? Where can you simultaneously let yourself receive it? So meaning being fully present when you choose to do good to you. You can bring your hands to your heart if you wanted to. You could stay with the question. You could stay with an intention, your practice and how you want to approach it. And together we take 3 breaths, inhaling through your nose. Exhale and sigh. Again, inhale through your nose. Exhale. And one last breath through your nose, inhale. And through your mouth, sigh. And then very slowly, with your next breath, bend your knees and bring your feet as wide as your hips, as wide as the mat, sorry. And let your knees come to touch each other at the center. Yeah. Once you're there, open the arms in a T shape or in cactus, whichever feels nicer in this moment. And then invite your knees, without moving your feet, just your knees, to drop all the way to the left side. Yeah. Now as the knees drop, bring your right hand below your head so that you lift your head without using the strength of the neck. And then you check if your knee is not below your right hip. You're going to move that right knee a bit back, so that it's just below your hip and your knee. And then you place your head back on the ground. Once you're there, your left foot can stay where it is. For most of us, this is enough. But if your case, you're like, well, no, you can bring your left foot on top of your right thigh on the outside of that leg. And then the hands will continue towards the back of the head until you catch your opposite elbows with your hands. And you can stay there, or otherwise you're gonna move your upper body, only your upper body, to the left side to create a little bit more space on the right side of your lungs, on the right side of your heart, on all that sweet space right there. Now, if you go to the left with your shoulders, with your upper body, you go as far as both of your shoulders stay on the floor, and as far as your hips, they are not moving. They are staying right there in the center. Yeah, that's it. Now, for some of us, if there is a lot in there, or if we go too far, if you feel a pinching or the bone of your leg when it connects with the hip, that starts to be painful, it's because you went too far out. Mm-hmm. So always less is more. Less doing, more presence in what is being done or experienced. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could also do that if your knee is very high from the floor, the right one. You can put a bolster or blocks or anything if you feel that you need that support. And from that, we haven't done in a very long time. So let your eyes settle again towards the back. And after all that following, you give yourself the gift of a form that becomes this expression of you in this moment. But there is that giving, meaning the attention that you're putting also very mindfully, where you put your feet, your arms, what all of this starts to open. But then is someone there to then receive the gift of what is being given? Is someone there in this beautiful, loving presence? Meaning not trying to fix it, not trying to give any advice, not trying to solve anything, and instead just being there and saying to yourself, to the form, I'm here. I receive you. Show me what is here. What do I have as an opportunity in this moment to meet about myself? As everything is somewhere encoded in between the cells and the bones and the muscles and all the rivers that are all the liquids and the fluids inside the body. How is it to allow every expression to be this little key? And how is it to constantly drop back to the other side and to say simply, I'm here. I am here. And maybe this time I'm not going anywhere. And I will navigate inside with the beauty of each and every breath. To maybe play, to offer exactly what the universe breath is offering to you. Then you absolutely do it and play it within yourself. This is the laboratory. This is where it all is. Otherwise, how could we ever even expect to be able to offer that to others? How could we expect to even receive that from others if we don't even know, because we haven't experienced how that it feels that within ourselves? Invite the shoulders and the base of the hips, that they are these grounding forces here to drop to the earth, to bring that presence into anything that may be held in the shoulders and in the hips, And for a moment to root it down, while simultaneously those roots are exhaling. And that side, that right side of your body, the right side of your lungs, the right side of your heart, the right side of your leg, maybe gives you with the opportunity to receive what is here. The messages that are encoded that only you and only you can access and process for yourself. It is a constant dance, but it is really there when we are there to play with it, to dance with it. Do you allow yourself these little moments where just that can be a way where you're loving to yourself? First, you want to be loving to yourself, maybe before you fully get in contact with being able to absolutely love yourself. But can we be loving? Could just the touch of your breath be an expression of that? And the answer is found in you and in how your body, time after time, responds to that. I invite you to offer, so to give now to yourself these last 3 breaths as a way to show up and to touch all this right side, where we inhale and that breath as it expands the lungs is there currently lullabying your heart on that side. And as you exhale, that breath that is going to touch all what is being present through your right hip and knee and foot, emptying to earth, and all the way simultaneously through your right shoulder and elbow and hand, and emptying to the earth. So if you feel cold, you can breathe slower, or you can stay with your breath. Really up to you. You can accompany that with that light of the breath that the big love gives to you. You gift it to yourself, and then you land afterwards, receiving. Let's breathe. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale 2 up and down for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. And one last one. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then slowly, first, if you walk your upper body to the left, bring your upper body back to the center, bring your knees again all the way up. You can either close your feet as wide as your hips and stay there, or extend your legs. And you may want to bring your arms by your side or to the belly to also rest for a moment your shoulders. If there is that sweet sigh, that sweet out breath that just goes and moves through your whole body, letting If there is a movement that is created, you receive it by allowing it, or by just the dropping with your entire, with a part of your body down towards the back body, as if you are in the inside of your body, in between just that layer that touches the ground and the inside of your body. You're there with eyes that are in the entire surface from the head to the ankles. And you let yourself be filled with the goodness that you created just a breath ago. And you start to observe the magic of the sensations that feel good, that auto-generated goodness that comes from presence. After all, everything ends up being quite simple, as it is all very natural. It happens that we've just drifted away from natural, as we drifted from feeling into just thinking on its own, disconnecting. Nature is found deeper within the body. We could say maybe within the mind of the heart. That to think feels and allows. You cannot think too much what love is until you cannot answer that anymore, but you can instead drop into the experience of how that feels when then your brain mind is empty of reason and your heart mind is filled with presence and breath. And so you drop like little particles are dropping, and those feeling eyes, they're just there. You don't need to do anything to breathe. You just are there. So you don't need to do anything to receive love, because it's just there. One more breath. If you wanted to inhale through your nose and exhale, you can sigh. Yes. And bit by bit and smoothly, your feet widen again, as wide as your hips. Yeah. The arms widen to the side, the knees flop to the center. And then you let your legs go to the other side, so to your right side. Yeah. Not to use too much strength of your neck, you can take your left hand below your head, and then you lift your head and you check, and you can bring that left knee a little bit more back so that it's below your hip. Then you descend again, hands that catch maybe your elbows, maybe that little movement of your upper body to the right side, and even maybe your left elbow that can go a little bit higher. The right foot can come on top of your left knee if that is needed. If you're going too far, because that bone is different, for me on this side, it's incredibly horrible. So I always do need to put something below my left knee or my left foot to elevate everything at the same level. So if that's you, you can do that as well. You want that what you feel is not the bones, and in this form, depending how we are made, we can very quickly feel the bone. You want to just feel all the rest, but not your bone. So if that happens always, you let me know. You figure it out. Yeah. Remember that putting the foot on top is not something that you really need to do unless you truly almost don't feel anything. That just feeling something a little bit different from nothing, it's enough. It's almost this when you create a form, you're giving a form to yourself. And sometimes it is not necessary to overgive. Actually, it is never recommended to overgive anything to anyone, just all at the right measure, in the right moment, that middle place. And when we're doing the practice and we're doing and giving ourselves forms, it can be interesting sometimes to see it through these lenses, especially if you have the tendency to be more of an overgiver. How also, what is about yourself, you go over the top beyond what is really even appreciated. As otherwise you can also not receive it, your body will freeze. And instead of creating that softness and that receptive space, without even, of course, none of that is bad, with bad intentions, but it is done very unconsciously. We end up creating the opposite environment of more resistance. And it's very subtle. And every little action can be there as, not as a judgment, but just as a teaching of our patterns in life. And also as they are being expressed through the body, we can also then rewire the patterns very slowly as an infinite yin practice, where in that slowness we can recognize, then we can accept it. We can even love ourselves for having certain patterns, as they are there just as actually acts of love. And instead bring a new level of presence where we understand that that's not needed. That maybe there is a softer way where you cannot deplete yourself in your giving, as every time that you deplete yourself, it means that you forgot yourself somewhere along the way. And sometimes the forgetting oneself, it's kind of a way not to see what is true, not to see what needs attention, not to see maybe the parts that are crying and that are needing to cry, or that they are uncomfortable, the parts that are doubting, the parts that are scared. So we overgive. And maybe there is another expectation in the overgiving, that someone will come to save you somewhere at some point. And this is endless. And everyone is doing this to everyone else until everyone starts to have micro moments of being fully aware and awake to its own being and how it functions and how it works and how you are in all of this. It becomes a contact of incredible, just transactional activities, completely unconscious. No one does it with bad intention. And yet everyone does it more or less. And it goes back to, how much do you love yourself? So then instead of transactions, we can start to build acts of kindness, an extension of generosity from the heart. And from the moment that you are yourself connected to your inner source, you will never go beyond what is reasonable to you at every moment, which shifts and changes. And the beauty of that is that every time then that you give is cleared, is fully clean, and people will feel that. And every time a pure heart comes to you to give you something and you are clean, that person will finally be truly giving, because you let it in without any afterthought. Not in the moment, not a day after or a week after. Just as when you get the breath, you're not thinking that now you need to give out the breath to the universe. You just do it because this is natural. Softening your jaw, the muscles around your eyes from searching endlessly, your brain from reasoning everything, your gestures, your forehead, the weight of the shoulders and the hips, exhaling. And you notice the left side of your body, the left side of your lungs, of your heart. This is the receiving side. There. And maybe there you invite the breath that you are getting freely from fountain of love to drop into that space. And then as you exhale, and you offer that down your body until the foot, and to your upper body, through your arm into your hand, just like we did on the other side. Maybe you stay with your breath, maybe you follow, maybe there is a little light that comes with that is offering to all these sensations, all that is there. This same gift that the universe gives to you. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. And one last breath for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then very slowly let your upper body come to the center. And you can either roll then to your right side in a fetal posture, if that feels like natural, because you're almost there to the side and you just need to bring both knees towards your chest. You can go back to your back and you let that is there space to land. Yeah. If there is that stretch because you are in that space, If there is that you need to change the form, or maybe you just go there and stay in that little sweet space of you. And you take the space of the back as if you go, no matter the form, you are all the way facing yourself somewhere on your whole back. And you don't do anything. It is almost revolutionary. You don't need to do anything to just receive it. You are there. It's done now. And sometimes it's in those moments where the mind will come, no, it's not possible. That's where the temptation comes of just doing the next things or giving to yourself or giving someone else the next thing. You stay. As when you truly give from your heart, after you stay, and you can notice how that really feels if the other person has been truly able to receive that without an afterthought. You feel it, and it's rare. So whenever that happens in your life, take it as an incredible gift. To feel yourself that you can receive, to feel when you are giving, when the other is in that same space. It's natural, and like many other things, it became rare, or it became what we call special. We call special so many things that actually they're natural. Pretty much everything that we call special seems to be just how nature made us to be, in connection to that source of love, and so to all that comes with that. That is all that you are here to be, with all your gifts, with all your things, with all your ways. It's not special, it's just natural. It is natural for a heart to just balance, give and receive, and love itself. It is natural to not live in a world of just constant reason and transactions. That's not normal, that's not natural. And so how is it for you? How do you reframe it in yourself, in the intimacy of your life? As maybe that's where the most impact can happen. And that is going to impact the closest people around you. And that is so much more than enough, as we are all interconnected, and impact somewhere on the other side of the world without no one needing to know about it. Because that's natural. Just like the trees, that they're helping each other through the roots silently. It is natural. And no tree is asking for the other, or has another thought, or feels bad about I don't know what. It is how it is. We are maybe wired in the same way, it's just that there is a massive forgetfulness that creates a lot of pain. That maybe is really not necessarily when we wake up just a little bit to the truth of what is natural. In every cell, present. In every breath, present. In every heartbeat, right there. One more breath. Ah. If you want to sigh because that is what comes, then that's what comes. And slowly, from your side or from your back, you continue to roll all the way to seat. And we're gonna bring the blocks and place a block below your heart, maybe in the highest way, and the other one below your head in the lowest way. Yeah. And then take a moment to sit in front of your blocks, to land with your forearms, like to lift your chest so that you can bring that block below your heart. I will come around. Yeah. And then to rest your head in your hands. Your head can, the other block can go very low, or it can go in the highest height, if you want to see how that feels also, which is not bad. Your arms can go by your side as far as the back without lifting your elbows from the earth. The legs may stay bent, and you can see what that does. Or maybe the feet together and the knees to the side, or the legs straight. Now try, I know I give you a lot of options, and it's not to confuse you, but it's that it's better that you make the choices that you make by observing how every day or every time you do something, it's never really the same. And then you can really give to yourself exactly what you need, exactly what your body needs. Like now, not last week, that your body was a little bit different. Yes, you knew it. Yeah, right there. Ooh. So if you want also to have something below your knees, you're really high. More low, lower, lower. How's that? Yeah. So this can rest. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. So if you go with the lowest, with the block for your head, you want to make sure that the back of your neck is healthy and you're not having, for example, any pain in the back of your neck, because when your head goes back, the back of your neck is contracting quite a bit. So also that we do things, we're not there. We do things because we've done them a long time. And then we believe that that's who we are. While on the way, we've forgotten actually that has maybe nothing to do with who we are. And it's the same when we are repeating certain things. So are we just repeating, or are we really offering the presence and then truly giving in this moment to yourself a form, as a gift, as a recognition, as a drop of love? Or it's just like this insane wheel that somehow feels that it's going quicker and quicker, and there is just too much. So we slow down. And again, we don't criticize, we don't judge. We are like, oh wow, yes. I didn't even notice that I had tension in the back of my neck. And when I was doing this in this way, actually it was making it worse instead of making it better. I just got so used to at things being worse and at feeling bad on my neck that it took me years to realize that I was having something that I don't need. And then one day you shift. And just for a split of a second, you woke up to notice that was not really giving to yourself. That was just that transactional thing that then is happening also around you. And so it's so normal and unnatural that you also forgot. And we all forget. In a way, we must forget so that we can remember and reclaim truth. So it's all part of the journey. But maybe the sooner that we remember, the greatest ease and grace that this whole messy human life can be lived with. And also can be then, right, given from that space. Because you have it in you. It's not that you're doing anything special. It is just in you. So it's an extension of you. And it's not special. It's just natural. I don't think the universal love or breath or anything is asking itself questions or considering if this is special or good or bad. It's just what it is, and that's it. And it cannot stop. And it's pure beauty and goodness and life-giving. So we are an extension of that. And then we descended through the body to earth. And then we learn how to be with that, how to take care of yourself and this precious gift. So then you can be a conduit of that pouring force to everyone, to everything, even to the beautiful flowers and the plants and the animals that maybe you have at home, right? So this form that you all know, imagine that you can really go to the little millimeter of how that form feels, especially around your head and your neck and around your shoulders and your arms and to the back of the heart that can drop, and to the belly and to the hips and to the legs. And if there is a part or a place that you notice that this is not real giving because you're going beyond your limit, then you shift. If your legs start to shake a little bit as it's happening here, that's okay. If it's not painful, you let your legs shake. Maybe your legs are feeling like, yes, she's finally here, so I can exhale. I can let all that unnecessary tension just move through and pour into the earth. It should not feel painful. It can be a bit weird, but never painful. If you need to stop it, it's easy. You can move your legs, but otherwise you can stay there. And you can offer, you can give your breath and your presence to your body that maybe in this moment is ready to let all that excess energy just move through yourself and out. What a beautiful gift. As your body feels safe and says, yes, I can receive her presence because she's here, not asking for anything else. And so I can let go. What a beautiful demonstration of that incredible love and how things are natural. So in the same way, we're not made to carry all the things that in truth we're all carrying. We're carrying a lot of unnecessary stuff from ourselves and from many other people. No need. That is also very unnatural. The trees, for example, they're helping each other through the roots. And they go. And when someone is sick, they go. But no one is taking or keeping them all the stuff for themselves. They offer, they give, they receive, and they continue. And there is no drama, and there is no problem, and everyone is welcome. But there is no carrying of the stuff of anything. It's all an offer to earth, right? And new trees, a new life is born. And within us, how do we care for ourselves so that we can be that tree? The tree is giving. It's giving flowers, it's giving fruits, it's giving beauty, it's giving nourishment. There is no question asked, there is no afterthought, there is no pretending, there is no trying. There is no transaction or convenience. It is. And maybe we can find this in the quietest acts of kindness. Also in a world where everything has to be shown and seen and sparkles and a little bit exaggerated theatrically. It doesn't matter. What matters is what is really happening. And it can be incredibly silent and incredibly powerful. And that's what matters. The rest is just the reason, the transaction. But we can go back to heart. Mm-hmm. And your loving yourself will know how to create also the right container, meaning the right boundary so you don't get exhausted. As in a way, it's not about saving anything or anyone as much as not anyone is there to save you. That also has nothing to do with the breath of the universe, with the harmonious way of loving. Probably is the opposite of that. So we come back. Invite your attention to go back to that heart. If you want to shift your legs for the last breath, you could do so. And imagine that as you inhale, the breath of the universe is descending all the way to your heart. And then as you exhale, you distribute it through your body and it goes back to the universe. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. And one last one. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then slowly you bring your arms by your side. One hand can lift your head gently so that you don't use your neck to remove the block to the side. Yeah. Or you can drop to the side gently and remove the blocks to the side. Yeah. You can land on that side. If you need to go forward, you go forward. And let this incredible, huge space be that little space that opens for you now to receive that cascade of all these almost miraculous sensations of breath and sensation as this medicine that reminds you you're here, reminds you that you're loved, and so because of that, in a way, you give back by taking care of yourself. Always checking in that you're not depleted. And you bring it back to balance to yourself at that moment when you do that, your boundaries go into place. You know exactly how you've been functioning, and so you can also shift what needs to shift. And you can continue to offer little acts of love and kindness from that grounded, loving space. If another shape is what you need before resting, please do so. If another movement is needed before resting, please also do so. Yeah. The knees can come to your chest. You can pass through a twist. Yeah. It may feel nice to round your back. Yes. All of it. This last, you give it to yourself. From yourself to yourself. It's the most important. Listen and respond. What do you need in this moment? Yeah. And there is not that afterthought or that, no, it is there. And so it's immediate. And everything is really welcome from that space. You practice it in between you and you. When you feel complete, you can either go to a wall and bring your legs up the wall to nourish your heart with breath. Or to, if there is no wall and instead you want to finish with the legs up in the air, you could do that. Yeah. You can have a bolster also below your knees, or the bolster also when you go to the wall. I've been doing a lot of putting blocks below the bolster when the bolster goes below the knees. It's a little bit higher and sometimes feels nicer on the back. If you want to try that, it can feel very nice. Yeah. Blankets, maybe the lights off. All the little things. Yeah, that's it. And in that moment, you circle back to that center in your heart, in between the back and the front body, the left body and the right in the center. In the center, there is an incredible space that it is not giving or it is not receiving, that it simply is. It is everything, it is nothing, where all the worlds, the above and the below, the within and the outside meet. And there you rest. You simply rest and you let yourself marinate in that space that is beyond anything that can be said. Shavasana. very slowly. Coming all the way back to the surface of your body. Noticing how you're breathing. Become aware of the temperature of the air in your toes, the fingers, the face. Sounds. And bit by bit, you maybe stretch, you maybe cross the arms around you. Yeah. Bringing your knees to your chest and rolling to one side. And then gently come to sit. And as you sit, your hands can rest. Connection to your heart in any way that has meaning to you, and offering to yourself praise, gratitude, appreciation, and receiving it simultaneously. As you inhale, that forms in a way in your mind, and as you exhale, you drop the frequency of those words into your heart and you receive it. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, David. Thank you, Frederick. Dark everywhere. Thank you so much.